Sagar, a mother and son came to the house today to propose. The young man has his heart set on Zainab, and he's hoping to make her his wife. But this surprise proposal has Zainab firmly against it. She burst into tears. The sun was high in the sky. This afternoon, the kids were cooling off in the shade. I went over and asked Yasin if he went to school today. Yasin said he went to register at school this morning. All the kids went to the school and finished their enrollment. But I, the cameraman, didn't get any footage of the kids going to school. Yasin says they're getting their books tomorrow, and classes will officially begin. Yasin is just starting first grade, while his older brother Hussein is in 7th grade, which is his first year of middle school. Zainab is also starting her new semester at school tomorrow. But for this last day of break, she and her siblings can help their mom with work. Today, Sagra is starting construction on their house. As the weather in the mountains starts to get colder, their tent alone won't be enough to protect them from the long, cold winter winds. To make it through the winter safely, they need to build a small, sturdy house right here. Sagar plans to build a house that is 5 by 3 meters. But the kids think that's too small and want to make it 6 by 3 meters. Sagar says with a weary smile that they just don't have the money for a bigger house right now. Sagar starts by mixing concrete for the new house's foundation. A few days ago, a bulldozer came and leveled the ground for them. Building a house is incredibly hard work. Sagar's husband works out of town, so she has to manage all of this on her own. Once the kids are back in school, they won't be able to help much. So for now, everyone is pitching in, moving the cinder blocks over and stacking them near the foundation. The blocks are heavy, but many hands make light work. With the kids helping, the construction will go much faster. It will be a little easier on Sagra. Just then, Fatima returns. She had just taken the sheep up the mountain to graze. She immediately jumps in to help carry blocks. After working for a bit, Zara stops to start a fire. She's going to boil some water and make a pot of hot tea. That way, they can sit down and rest later and have a cup of hot tea to recharge. Sagra has laid out the cinder blocks and snapped a chalk line. She's using it to measure and position the foundation. The straight line acts as a baseline, and it helps determine the length, width, and position of the walls. Before long, the tea is ready. It's just waiting for everyone to stop working, so they can have a warm cup. Sagra works quickly, getting the concrete mixed evenly. Then she starts laying the wall. She spreads the mortar flat, and then sets each block in place. The kids are helping out too. Some are pouring water, others are handing her blocks, and some help pour concrete into the foundation. After working like this for a while, everyone starts to get tired. The tea is ready just in time, and Zara brings it over to the family. After a short break, Sagra gets right back to the demanding construction work. The kids quickly join in again to help her out. Out here in the wilderness, this family is slowly building a home to protect them from the wind and cold. As time passes, the sun begins to set. Sagra and the kids have been working all afternoon, and the wall is already starting to take shape. 3 neat rows of blocks now stand on the foundation. This is what they accomplished in just one afternoon. They decide to call it a day and pick it back up tomorrow. With a solid foundation and wall, the rest of the bricklaying will go much more smoothly. Time passes to the next morning. The sun has just risen over the mountains, casting its light across the land. Zainab is starting a fire to boil water and make tea for the family. Sagra is kneading dough, getting a flatbread breakfast ready for the children. I ask where Yasin is. Fatima says he went to school. So I ask her, then why aren't you going? Fatima tells me her classes are in the afternoon. The dough is finally kneaded into a soft batter. Zahra gets out an iron pan, and they start cooking the flatbread. This kind of bread is the most common food for their breakfast. Simple flour and water, cooked over the fire, slowly transform into large, fragrant rounds of bread. It may be simple, but it fills their stomachs and gives them enough energy for today's construction work. Soon, the third flatbread is done. Now it's time for breakfast. Hussein and Yasin have already left for school, so it's just the 3 sisters at home with their mom. After breakfast, Sagra speaks to Zainab. She says that Zibahan's mother just called. She said she wants to bring her son over to formally ask for her hand in marriage. The moment the words are out, Zainab tells her mother to stop talking. The resistance on her face is clear. I suggest that they should at least let them come and make the offer. She can decide whether to accept later. Sagra explains, "This isn't my decision to make alone. Ultimately, it's up to your father. We can't make a decision until he returns." A short while later, Zibahan's mother arrives with her son. The boy holds a bouquet of wrapped flowers in his hands. He looks a little nervous, and Kiba Hanmu is carrying some candy, brought as a gift. Sagra walks up to shake their hands. According to local custom, they gently kiss the back of each other's hands. Sagar then warmly invites the mother and son to sit down and talk. Kiba Hanmu says, "My son insisted on coming to propose marriage, but we came in such a hurry we didn't bring any proper gifts." There's a hint of embarrassment in her voice. Kiba Hanmu continues, "I told my son that Zainab has many suitors, but my son insisted on coming to see what you think. I had planned to go into town to buy some fruit and gifts, but he insisted on coming right away." Sagra, however, is not concerned with these formalities. She values sincerity and attitude more. Besides, the 2 families are related, so they are quite familiar with each other. Kiba Hanmu asks where Zainab went. Sagra explains, "Zainab is not very happy." Sagra says bluntly, Zainab does not want to get married right now. She wants to continue her studies and finish her education. She hopes to be like her younger brothers and have the chance to learn in a classroom instead of being tied down by marriage so early. About this marriage, although Zainab's position is firm, in the local traditional view, the child's opinion is not the final decision. The most important thing is still the parents' opinion and choice. Kiba Hanmu says, "I was originally thinking of waiting for the children's father to return, but my son was too impatient. He insisted that we come over first, and then see what you think. Then we can go to the city and prepare proper gifts." Kiba Hanmu asks Sagra directly, "What do you think about my son?" Sagra doesn't give a direct answer. This isn't something I can decide by myself. We have to wait for Zainab's father to come back. Our family needs to discuss it together. The conversation continued for a while. As it was getting late, Kibahanmu gets up to say goodbye to Sagra. There's no one at home, so we need to head back. We are looking forward to your answer. As she sees them off, Sagra says, when Zainab's father returns, we will definitely give you an answer. Kibahanmu adds one last thing. My son said that he only loves Zainab. He only wants to marry her. After the guests leave, Sagra asks Zainab to come out. She also says he's a good young man, and he is very handsome. Her words are a mother's gentle persuasion. It shows her approval of the boy proposing, and is also a way to make her daughter see things differently. After Zainab comes out, her expression is resistant. There is an unspeakable sadness in her heart. She feels that marriage came too suddenly, like a mountain pressing down on her. Sagra advises her not to be sad. He is your cousin. He is not a stranger. However, Zainab is very reluctant. She does not hide her resistant feelings, and says that she disagreed from the start. Seeing her daughter's strong refusal, Sagra can only try to persuade her patiently. He is a good young man. He has good character, and he's not bad looking. This matter is not something you can decide on your own. We still have to wait for your father to come back. As soon as she finished speaking, Zainab suddenly sits down hard on the ground. Tears burst from her eyes. She cries very softly, releasing all her dissatisfaction. Laughter. Inaudible. Zainab cries with teary eyes, and with a hint of anger. It is clear that talking about marriage now is not the life she wants. Her tears hold her desire for freedom, her hopes for the future, and a deep resistance to her current situation. Laughter. Laughter. Inaudible. But that for a girl to marry early is a much more stable option. In her view, marriage means having support. It means having someone to share the burdens of life. Perhaps this is the common destiny for most girls in nomadic families. Before they have a chance to blossom, they are pushed onto the path of marriage by family and tradition. Dreams of education, the future. These things seem distant and extravagant in her mother's eyes. The cameraman took the chance to interview Fatima. Do you think Zainab should marry him? Fatima answered no without hesitation. What is your reason for disagreeing? For a moment, Fatima did not know how to answer. So the cameraman asked, is it because Zainab herself doesn't agree? Yes, my sister does not want to. That is the reason. Sagra and the children move this door under the big tree to make room for the next phase of construction. Today, they will continue to build the new house. The building materials will continue to be delivered. In a few days, when Sogra's husband returns, he will not only be able to help build the new house, but he can also discuss with the family to decide Zainab's future, whether she will marry early or continue with the education she so deeply desires.